when my older son left, I had got him a therapist because he was getting, angry that his dad wasn't around. He would, say, he promised he would come back, he's not coming back, and I would try to sugarcoat and just try to make the best of it, and, again, support him what he wanted to do sports-wise, extracurriculars, and, get his dad's feedback and, um, all that stuff, but he missed his dad so much, so that's really what drove me to agree to let him go.
Mhm.
Um, and then, like I said, my dad was a really strong role model in my life, so I figured my ex-husband would be like my own father, but that wasn't the case.
Mhm.
And so little by little, I felt like he was chipping away who I was in his life and
Mhm.
making him more independent to not need a mother or, invalidating who I was to him and my my
Mhm.
my role and my responsibilities. And so little by little, I think it created my son had this disdain feeling. Now he had an attitude, always had a chip on his shoulder, had a problem that I moved on. Um, and then, eventually, didn't wanna come over, doesn't wanna have anything to do with my parents, my family, um, and he just involved him too much into family court that eventually my son felt that because my parents supported me, like, if I went to court, they would go with me, so I wasn't, by myself. They
Mhm.
felt that they are supporting you against my dad. Therefore, I don't wanna have anything to do with anyone who is against my dad. And I think he started that because he would tell him, who was at the courthouse with me. And so again, who's telling this to a 13-year-old, 14-year-old teenager?
Yeah.
Um, and he would say, "Well, I'm being honest with him." Like, "No, you're oversharing adult matters with a child."
Right.
And, that's kinda how he would sell that she's the negativity of who your other parent is. They just started bashing you with those, um with just by oversharing things.
Yeah.
And I always kept it, I always kept that stuff away from my young son. I didn't involve him because it's very stressful to be hearing things that you can't even understand, and then they're expecting you to side with them, be their best friend,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And that that's eventually what happened with my older son.